So, today we're going to talk about something that sits right at the intersection of love, trust, and some of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. We're talking about premarital verification. Now, I know it sounds serious, and it is, but it's a conversation more and more couples are having. So let's explore what this is really all about and why it's become so important. You know, it's that little question that can pop into your head even when everything seems perfect. As you're planning a future, you're not just falling in love with a person, you're trusting their word, their past, and their promises for what's next. But how can you be absolutely sure what's really going on beneath the surface?
And that's really our starting point, the feeling of it all, the emotional reality of being uncertain. Look, this isn't about not loving someone or having some kind of baseless suspicion. It's about that heavy, nagging feeling that can just cast a shadow over what's supposed to be one of the happiest times of your life.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Doubt isn't just some passing thought. It's a real weight on your shoulders. It can hold you back, make it tough to think clearly, and just get in the way of making that huge life choice with 100% confidence. It's a weight that you really need to address. So what do? How do you move past that feeling? Well, that brings us to the whole point of this explainer, the idea of actively looking for clarity. It's all about turning that doubt into genuine confidence by using a clear, objective process. And the main tool for this is the prenuptial polygraph test. Now, it's really important to get what this is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't. This is not some kind of interrogation or accusation. Think of it as a scientifically backed tool. It's designed for one reason and one reason only, to confirm that intentions are honest and to give both people the clarity they need to walk into a marriage feeling confident and at peace.
Okay, so what kinds of things does a process like this actually look at? Well, let's dive into the key pillars of what makes a relationship truly transparent. These are the areas where total honesty is pretty much the foundation for a future that's built to last.
Right. Let's start with the big ones. Over on the left, you've got physical fidelity. We're talking about concrete actions. But just as important, over on the right is emotional honesty. You know, a secret romantic chat with someone else, or secretly being on dating apps. That can destroy trust just as fast as a physical affair. They're really two sides of the same coin. Now let's see how this plays out in the practical day-to-day stuff, which is just as critical. Financial honesty, this is huge. Hiding massive debts or not being straight about your income, that can put an incredible amount of stress on a marriage. And it's the same with past connections. Unresolved issues or secret meetups with an ex, that's just dragging old baggage into your brand new life. You've got to have transparency here. This next part gets into some of the trickier stuff. Because, you know, honesty isn't just about not telling a lie. Hiding really important information about your life or deleting messages to cover your tracks, that's a huge breach of trust. But so is letting other people, like friends or family, secretly influence your decisions as a couple, or sharing private details about your relationship when your partner wouldn't want you to. And finally, we get to personal behaviors and shared goals. Hiding an addiction, whether it's gambling, alcohol, drugs, whatever, is a massive risk to the stability of a family. But, and this is just as crucial, you have to be honest about your fundamental goals in life. If you're not being truthful about wanting kids, or about your career ambitions or your core values, that's a betrayal of the future you're promising to build together. So, you go through all these tough but really necessary questions. What's the end result? What do you actually get out of it? Well, it's not just about getting answers. It's about getting the power to make a truly informed decision. So what does this whole verification process actually give you? Well, it breaks down into 4 key things. First, you get an analysis of sincerity. You can confirm that your partner's feelings and motives are true. Second, you get a clear financial picture. No hidden debts or surprises. Third, you identify any hidden risks, like addictions or habits that could affect your family. And all of that comes together for the most important part, step 4. It gives you the foundation for a genuinely informed decision. You get to move forward based on truth, not just hope. Which brings us to the big takeaway. This entire process, every single tough question, it's all about one thing: building a strong, stable future. And it all boils down to that fundamental relationship between truth and trust. It's really that simple, but at the same time, it's so incredibly profound. You just can't build real, lasting trust if the foundation is made of secrets or unanswered questions. Truth has to come first. It is the starting point for everything else that comes next in a marriage. And so that's the question we want to leave you with. As you're planning your life with someone, just take a second to think about what your relationship is really built on. Is it built on hopes and assumptions, or is it built on proven, confirmed truth? Because at the end of the day, the strength of that foundation is what will determine everything you build on top of it.